Do it.
Boom! Welcome back to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your host and your scary movie companion. Please do not forget that part. Christian Ramey, that's me. Sitting across from me is the best producer in the whole wide world, the person who puts the show together. You guys know him as Mr. Ozark Mark. Mark, how are you? How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic, as you should be too, because you are here for another hardcore hour of podcasting entertainment right back up in your ass, right in the middle of the hello, my name is season here.
That's what's happening, Mark.
That's right. It's going down. Charlie Brown. And we got a great classic. It's a classic movie that we're talking about. Everybody knows about it, heard about it, seen it, been about it, been all up in it. And that is the one and only Carrie.
You know how this comes to my mind? You've seen Home Alone.
Yes.
You've seen Home Alone. That part where Marv gets real messed up, and then he's like, Harry. That's how I hear Carrie, and that's how it comes out to me. Carrie. So that's
Carrie.
That's how it comes out to me. Talk about a classic. More than a classic. A monumental pillar of horror, of the lexicon in the world. There's a lot to talk about with this. We have Stephen King. We have Brian De Palma. We have telekinesis. That was real big in the 70s. People were real into that. That was something that they really, really got into.
I'm still into it now. It's dope.
Yeah, people.
That'd be one of my superpowers, telekinesis.
Even think about Star Wars, with the Force.
I don't know about that, but yeah, the Force. I know what that is.
Same thing.
Uh-huh.
Same kind of thing. You can I could pick up that water bottle over there if I wanted to. If I was a Jedi.
Have you ever secretly tried to do it? See if you have the ability.
Yes. Yeah. More than I'd like to admit.
I've tried it too, and I can't figure that shit out.
Yep. Like you say, the best is just when you're in the shower and you can just bend water. You can feel like a water-moving avatar off your fingers.
The closest I got to telekinesis is shooting a video and playing it backwards. Throwing something and pretending it's coming back to me.
Oh,
just
okay.
reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little fun little telekinesis camera trick you can do.
I like that.
Yeah, that's the closest I ever got.
We have so many things to discuss on this show. So honestly, how many episodes can we go without running into a Stephen King?
Stephen King.
But I have to say to you guys, I don't even know where you guys are at in the world. So please check in, everybody. Let us know where you're watching from. And also, if you're on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe. You're going to be up on all the latest content, all of our video content.
No more pleases. Do it.
Yeah. Please
do it now,
or else we'll show up. If you watch weekly and you're not, I don't know if you're aware.
You know Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they get the list of everybody. We're gonna get a list of everybody that doesn't do it. We're gonna come to your fucking house and we're gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in a figure 4 leg lock in front of your grandma.
That's right. Rock bottom.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. We're gonna have fun with it. Have you ever been 3D'd through your kitchen table? Well, you're gonna find out. So do it. We don't mean to threat, and it's not really a threat. You remember the old school way. It's a promise.
Thank you.
So, that's what's going to happen. So do that on everywhere. Open up Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Give us 5 stars, please, if you enjoy the show. Now, or else. See, I like that. That's how you do.
Nice little twist you did there.
Stockholm.
They don't know how. It's got my butthole all shrinking. I know what you did there.
But I do have to say, speaking of Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Yes. I don't mention many other podcasts, especially horror podcasts, on this show. And it's not because I don't mind, or I don't mind. If I enjoy something, I don't mind to put it out there. And to be quite truthful with you, one of the main reasons for the start of Sloppy Horror Podcast is because I was looking for stuff to listen to while working, and I couldn't find many things that really were. I don't want to say there aren't good things out there, but I didn't find anything that I really enjoyed or that I wanted. I wanted some horror education with some entertainment, right? So here we are. That's what inspired that. But there are a few, and there were a few pioneers that helped me, that I enjoyed listening to. And one of those shows is the Kingcast. All right, it's It's a show. Two guys, they break down Stephen King stories and the way, or, stories or books that he's wrote, obviously his movies. I thoroughly enjoy these guys, their show, and they know their shit. Well, unfortunately, over the weekend, Scott Wampler, one of the hosts of the show, died. He fucking died, dude. Like, he's not old. I don't know what happened to the guy. I don't think any foul play or anything crazy or anything to that nature, but he passed away. I feel for everybody involved. Dude was a big part of the horror community. He knew his shit, and he was on the opposite side of the fence, too. These guys, he was a writer for many different outlets. Him and Vespi have been in, like, the film industry for a while. And I tell you, these guys are super genuine. I even messaged out to this show about something about an episode I didn't like. And they messaged me back, and we had a chill a discussion, a discourse about it, and it was really cool. And I really appreciated that because, A, I think people need more of that. But I just wanted to give a big shout out to Scott Wampler. Rest in peace, man. That's really fucked up. I wasn't expecting that. Nobody was. I had no idea. I had a crazy busy weekend, and I threw on the Kingcast, and they were like, they broke the news. I was like, oh my God. And truth being said, it's one of the saddest things I've ever listened to. But I do recommend you guys check it out. I'm glad that they put something out there. But yeah, figured I don't mention many shows, but I couldn't not say anything, man. Big member of the community. So rest in peace, Scott. You will truly be missed. Truly. He knew his shit. So the one thing I can tell you, though, I know a lot about this damn movie. I know too much about this movie.
You say that about every movie.
Yeah, but this one's a little different. Because this is a wrecking ball of a horror movie, Mark. This is one of those ones. It just broke the damn mold in so many different ways. This was the movie that put Stephen King on the map. Like, this was it. And whether it's a known fact or a not known fact, this isn't for like a what do you know kind of deal at all. I don't think the guys would bring this because this is kind of a common thing. Stephen King was writing Carrie, threw it in the trash. He thought it was trash. His wife picked it up, picked it out of the trash, and kind of read it, and she said, "Nah, I think you got something here. Keep working." And he did. Here he is, all these years later.
Was he playing Mambo No. 5 when it was happening?
He did. He loved that song, man. He loved that song. Which is a weird fact that he loves that song.
I know. It's an odd song to love. To be your favorite song. Anyway.
So, young Stephen King, at this time he's a teacher, living in a trailer, not famous. And I don't know if you saw the old pictures of Stephen King. He looked like a caveman, dude. He looked crazy.
He still looks like a caveman.
Yeah. But he just looks like I see old man, but like his hair and beard, it was nuts. It was wild. So I appreciated that this movie had to be talked about. But the female point of view, the female perspective, we had seen it in Rosemary's Baby and a few other films, but this was a little different. Now, it gets a little dicey because this was a very like many feminists were like pro Carrie. Like this was a movie that represented that, but it's tough because the legendary Brian De Palma, who made the movie, didn't shy away from making women sexy in this movie or like trying to like show some TNA. So like for his
can we talk about that? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
We gotta talk about this shit right now.
Cut right in.
So this is my first time fully watching this movie. Now I've known
fully
about
frontal.
Yeah, I've known about. Now I've known about Carrie in the past. I know what Carrie was. I never just sat. I've seen clips of this movie before. I just never sat and watched the whole thing because I had no reason to except for this show. But
By chance, did you see the remake?
no, not yet.
Okay.
I was clicking between them. I was like, "Fuck, which one did he say?" I was like, "Probably the 1970 ones. That's probably the better one anyway." But being a man, adult man, a 33-year-old man in the year 2024, the opening scene to this movie will make you feel very uncomfortable because there is a lot of nudity in the beginning, but it's not regular nudity, it's high school girl nudity.
Yeah.
So you feel kind of weird about watching it. Now, obviously, they're all 18 because you can't do that.
Yeah.
They're obviously 18.
Adults, yeah.
But they're not, I guess they're supposed to be seniors, but it's like, this is weird. I felt very uncomfortable watching the opening movie scene to this movie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude.
Now, if I was in high school, that would be the shit. But I'm
That's
not.
like a high schooler's wet dream at
That's
that
what
point.
I'm saying, but not a 33-year-old man's dream.
Yeah, and in the context of that way, like, you know, he was criticized a lot of it for that opening. It's almost like a dream sequence of like a 13-year-old, like he's dreaming of gym class, like I wonder what's going on in that locker room. You know, like he's wondering, trying to conjure up, and that's what it feels like. But for a guy who's showing women naked, or young women naked, we'll emphasize that, he sure as hell did shoot it awfully sympathetic through Carrie's point of view. It's this weird thing, dude. I won't go too far on this tangent, but it's like that with Rosemary's Baby too. The feminists really grabbed those movies, and I understand why. Like they're very pro-female, but Roman Polanski is a fucking pedo who essayed a young girl. Like he did nasty shit to a young girl. So it's like, how can people that are like shoot movies through the lens of a woman's eyes, very sympathetic to Carrie this whole movie? You know, she's got her mom, she's got the pressures of school. You feel for Carrie by the end of it. You're like, fuck them up, dude. They're dicks. Like, kill them all. I don't even care at this point, you know? Everybody's guilty by association at this point. Even a teacher, fuck you, you know? Like, I don't even care. Like, I get it. You know, if you were ever an outcast at all.
Oh, yeah, you feel for this movie 100%. Might bring back some bad memories, but you're on Carrie's team. Another thing about that opening scene was even more creepy is that the way she was showering herself, looked like she was pretty much taking care of herself.
It was strange.
It was weird and orgasmic to her, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Fucking weird. And then, who gets their period when they're 18? Their first period at 18. Does that happen? I don't think that happens.
No, that's some super delayed stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, hey, my teeth came in late, all right? I don't think it works the same way for the vagine.
It doesn't. I
think that shit pops around 12 or 13 or something, right?
Jesus was holding it back for her.
Not 18.
Now, before we get too much deeper, can we fill shoes real quick?
Fill the shoes, walk the path of the wicked. Unleash the fury, let the chaos reign.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Fill my shoes, boy.
Once again, we need to fill the shoes because we aren't talking about the remake. And let's go back in time a little bit here because I don't want people to lose the fact that this is a legendary director in Brian De Palma, and these are, John Travolta's in this movie, for Christ's sake. Sissy Spacek.
I forgot
Piper
about Johnny
Laurie.
Stramboli, man.
Yeah.
Johnny Stramboli's in it.
Dude, here's the deal. My man, first off, he gets messed up pretty good. But we need to go back to kind of see what's happening because I don't want you guys to miss out and try to get tainted and say, hey, this looks too old. Well, it is going to look old because guess what? The big thing's going on. This came out in November of 1973. I think it was 28.
I thought it was 74.
73.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
73. Sometimes there's the... no, I'm sorry. 76. What the fuck? We're on drugs over here. So we were talking about the book versus that's where we had different interpretations. So the release date, November 3rd of 1976.
Okay.
Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't fill the shoes then.
Oh.
We can't fill the shoes.
So we already did the bumper.
I know. Well, you know what we can do? Let's get right down to the business of 1976, November, and I want to know what the pop charts were like at that time. All right? We got to know what music was going on. This is relevant. I want to know what people were listening to. So, in November of 1976, you know what people were rocking to? Little Steve Miller Band for that ass. Keep on a-rockin' me, baby.
That
was number one song.
Rockin' me, baby.
From Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, L.A.
Bang.
Yeah, that's where it was going on.
Look at that.
The Wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot. We had Chicago. If you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, baby, please don't go. That was good. Ooh, She's Gone. We started to get some Hall & Oates. Magic Man by Heart. So there's some good some legendary music that was still played to this day.
Oh, yeah.
At that time.
Turn on any rock station, one of those songs will come up.
Yep. You know what we need to know, though, really, is the movies.
Movies.
We do. We need to know
What was happening at the picture shows in 1976?
So there were some good ones that come out that year. There were some great picks, but we need to know what was the top of the box office. We need to know. Do you know what the number one movie altogether was?
Fuck no.
What do you mean? Fuck no, man.
I don't know.
Actually, that year,
I don't know what's on the movie charts today.
what's really interesting at that time frame, this came out right at the same time that Rocky came out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yep. So that was the number one movie at the time. A Star Is Born, that came out at that time. They came out with another King Kong. That was the one with the old what was the girl or what was that lady from American Horror Story, the old lady, Jessica Lange? Yeah, she was in that King Kong. But The Omen came out that year.
The Omen?
The Bad News Bears.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Some good flicks.
Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on at the time in movies. I mean, people are going to the movies at the time. We're not buying them and taking them home, really, in 1976. Do you have a stab at what was going on with sports back then? Do you know who the NFL champs were?
No.
You don't know who they were in 1976, dude?
No.
Well, it's bullshit because it was the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, not in Vegas now, but the Oakland Raiders at the time.
Uh-huh.
They haven't won in forever.
Nope.
That's why they're all
At least they've won before.
I know, man. Well, they had John Madden. It's like, you fucking better.
Yeah, no shit.
Fucking John Madden. Like, it's John Madden.
Yeah, really.
I think you can guess the NBA champs. It was the Boston Celtics that year. Just sounds right for the 70s.
Big surprise.
Do you know about the MLB champs?
The fucking... No. Cubs?
Cincinnati Reds.
Oh,
The Cincinnati
the
Reds.
Cincinnati Reds, bitch.
That's right. It was the big red machine.
It was us. We did it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Honestly, that is one of the best baseball teams to ever happen. To ever happen.
Sure was.
But other things that happened that year, Jimmy Carter became president. That was kind of cool. I mean, people like him, right?
I get it. Nobody likes the president.
It's Jimmy Carter. It's JC. And then obviously it was the bicentennial of the United States of America's 200-year-old birthday. But we had bell-bottom jeans, we had mutton chops, we had all the great stuff.
Yep.
A little bit of Led Zeppelin.
Hell
Led Zeppelin
yeah.
was still right there at the end there. We had some great music. So this is what's going on for Fill Them Jeans. I had to update my notes because I had them for the book and not for the film, and that was my apologies. That was my bad.
Well, good job.
I did that on the fly. So if you're listening and you enjoyed that was on the fly. So, but that's okay. I do think the context is worth it for the 70s because no, not ancient Egypt long ago, but for film, that's a good gap.
It is, but I'll tell you this, man. After watching all these horror movies and seeing a lot of horror movies throughout the decades here from doing this show, I gotta say, dude, my favorite horror movies are done in the 70s.
I like that.
They really are. That's when they're actually scary. Like, because, I love how the audio is blown out. They're peaking. I think that's on purpose because new horror movies now, everything's equalized and good. But the 70s, they're just like, fuck it, scream, and it's going to peak out, and it just distorts it. You got real low audio, then real high audio. You got creepy-ass Sith noises. I love the zoom-ins of creepy-ass zoom-ins, and it's just generally creepier the way that shit's shot in the 70s to me.
I like that answer, dude. I
love it. And it's also very corny and funny, too, because it's in the 70s. So it's a lot of laughing, but it makes it creepier. Mm-hmm. Creepier.
The Omen is creepier now.
Yeah.
Like, I think The Omen is creepier now.
Yeah.
Like his head rolling off, that babysitter, because they don't look like people do now. So it's strange.
No, and in the 70s, they always didn't have a score throughout the entire movie either. There's some parts where it's just dialogue and silence. That makes it creepier, too.
You're too sexy for the White House. Yep. Those are great films. I'm 100% in agreement. I will also, I don't know if everybody's seen Carrie, so I will give a brief synopsis for the folks who haven't seen it, just to get you up to date so you're kind of relevant of where these stories go if we jump into random parts of the movie. So, Carrie White, she is a teenage girl raised by only her mother, and her mother, if we're going to say that she's religious, that's an understatement. She's one of the crazy cuckoo brains. She's got problems. She actually has psychological problems.
Yeah, she's got donkey brains.
Yeah, and she is messing Carrie up. She makes her live in these crazy rules and these crazy terms.
She puts her in a closet with a creepy Ted Nugent Jesus.
Yeah, like a Ted Nugent Jesus, yes.
That Jesus was fucking creepy, dude, but it looked like Ted Nugent.
He did, dude. They practice these crazy practices, and Carrie is a good kid, but she's often scolding, Carrie about the sinning and, because she knows that Carrie's becoming a young woman, so she gets really weird and doesn't handle it well. But what this does is it starts to make Carrie a little outcasted by everybody at school. They start picking on her. She has her period and like gym class and showers, and all the girls mock her and make fun of her because she started freaking out. So she starts to get some school shooter vibes going, right? Her eye starts twitching a little bit. She starts to get that going on. And throughout the movie, she starts to understand that she has a power, telekinesis, because every time she gets angry, she can move things break. She notices like she has a force behind her. Well, she gets duped by everyone at high school because out of all these girls that were picking on Carrie, there was a girl named Sue who felt bad. She felt bad in the long run. She's like, look, this is fucked up. That wasn't right what we did to Carrie, so I'm going to let her go to prom with my boyfriend. And they're popular kids, Her
Were they boyfriend or brother and sister?
Oh, I'm giving you the context for the newer movie. That was her boyfriend. Yeah. So I thought they were weren't they boyfriends in this one, or boyfriend girlfriend in the original, or did they say brother and sister?
They didn't see either. I didn't know which one was.
Boyfriend girlfriend. Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they never like kissed or anything, so I didn't know.
Yeah, no, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry.
So he lets her go. Sometimes when you deal with multiple movies and a book, you're like, wait, now. Are you
I just didn't know which one it was in this movie. I thought they were brother and sister.
I thought you one-upped me real quick. I was like, damn.
That's what I got from it, because they never kissed or did anything.
They weren't doing nothing nasty.
They weren't.
They weren't getting all crazy.
No.
But it's Tommy Ross and Sue Snell. Yeah, they kept the character names. Honestly, what's really, I will say briefly, well, we're going to get that later. All right, we're going to get that later. Let's stick to the synopsis. So Sue sends her boyfriend, Tommy, to prom with Carrie. And their intentions are good. And Carrie does have one teacher, Mrs. Collins, who treats her right, scolds the other girls for, making fun of her. And she kind of smells a trap. She's like, Sue, why are you sending her there with your boyfriend? This is, you guys trying to mess with her? And Sue's like, no, I want her to have a fun time. And she's like, they believed her. And because they were being genuine there. But there were other kids at school who kind of used this as a way to dupe Carrie at prom. And they end up voting for her. They mess with all the votes and they make her prom queen. And then when she goes up there to accept her award, they dropped a bunch of pig's blood on her. And she got covered. She got covered in pig's blood. And then telekinesis kicks in and she just kills everybody. And then she goes home, Everybody. Yeah. So that's the synopsis of Carrie. Pretty awesome. I love this film. I love this story. But the remake of this film gets a lot of hate. I don't know why the remake of Carrie gets a lot of hate. It's beat for beat pretty similar. Even dialogue. From the gym teacher smacking, Chris to it's the same. The character names are the same. It's all the same. There's no major twist. all the same. And it's modern. And I don't know. I don't have a vagina. I'm not a woman, believe it or not. I'm not a woman. I'm a man. I won't carry a purse no more. You ever seen that video? It's very funny. But I don't know how to speak from a female's perspective, but I do know that I have a lot of women in my house, and girls, a lot of estrogen, and they loved Carrie. They love Carrie. They identify with that the remake. They really enjoyed it. But they're not horror people. They don't know the difference between this and that. They could probably sit and watch the original, but hook, line, sinker, they took the new one. And I wasn't offended because, as I'm watching, I'm like, man, beat for beat, it keeps up. So it's like, when something says it's a modern take, and you take something that's 35, 40 years old and give a modern take that's pretty much exactly the same, I'm not mad at that. I mean, you're allowed to do whatever you want, but if you turn it a bunch of different ways, it's different. It's different. And I don't know where all the hate comes from, but I enjoyed it as well. The original is superior for the fact that I think the prom was better. The prom is better because of Brian De Palma's crazy split screen. That was this split screen thing that De Palma does sometimes, and other directors, but there are two different things going on at once. And it gives you, the audience member, of choice of which road you want to go down, but it creates chaos in your brain. Like from a filming perspective, or a fan's perspective, it's chaos to interpret. It's like trying to watch a 3D movie almost without 3D glasses. Not as painful, but you don't know what to process. And I think that is one of the main reasons why this movie, was put into the legendary status, is because of that ending scene at prom. People always talk about the pig's blood, and it's just a beautiful scene, man. I really do love the split screen. I like that he did the split screen personally. I was a fan. What'd you think of it? You're a producer. You film a bunch of stuff. You know what's going on. What were your takes on that final prom scene? Was it annoying to you, or did you enjoy it?
No, I enjoyed the shit out of it, dude. It was awesome. The build up to it was perfect because, and again, what they do in those old movies is it goes from 0 to 100. Mm-hmm. Modern takes, it builds up, it builds you up and builds you up. But these older ones, it just goes, everything's cool and just slaps you right in the fucking face. Here we go. Everything's cool. Silence with the pig's blood.
Oh, yeah.
And then bang. Shit starts going awry. She starts fucking murdering people, fucking people up with a hose. And then I loved her walking through the gym when it was on fire.
What a scene.
Fucking beautiful. And the split screen was cool too because this is a chaotic moment, and like you said perfectly, that creates chaos in your brain, so it fucking gets you into the mood of what's happening.
No matter what, yeah, no
it's
matter
like being
what side.
in one of those old fucking amusement park rides. The seats move and you're going through it too. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like what it was, but in your brain a little bit.
It was like that brief moment as a kid when you're playing games on split screen and you're accidentally looking at the wrong screen on Mario Kart and you're like, fuck, that panic that sets in because no matter where you were looking, either side, there was chaos.
Yeah, people were getting fucked up.
It's one of those scenes you could probably watch over and over like 5-6 times and see something different every time because there's a lot going on.
Yeah, and it's cool too because you finally get the justice because you are in there and you want her to fuck up everybody in there.
I know the dance scenes were funny too. Like I love the 70s dancing.
The scene where when the camera's going around them when they're dancing and it keeps getting faster and faster, it makes you uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Because it's kind of starting that slow ride. You're like, all right, something bad's gonna happen here soon.
I feel it deep in my balls that something is gonna happen, and you know it. You just know it. But I mean, that's De Palma, man. I mean, Scarface. We all know Scarface, Untouchables, Carlito's Way, Dress to Kill, Sisters, Body Double, Mission Impossible.
I'll tell you what's not an impossible mission.
What?
Finding more things out about this movie.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. Welcome to the What Do You Know Here. This is the segment here where we're here to tell you something that you may or may not know about this movie. Now, you may know what we know, you may not know what we know, but if you know what we know, you can have a we know-gasm. If you don't know what we know, you better find out what we know, and you can have a we know-gasm too, so everybody can have a nice synced up we know-gasm in their brain orifices here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast, right back up in your ass. Hey, so why don't you tell me something that you may or may not know about this movie?
I know some things about this movie, okay? Here's the things I really want to talk about. Sometimes actresses. Why do actresses go by actor? They're actresses.
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it. Whatever they prefer, okay? Whatever they prefer.
It's like calling a broad who delivers mail a mailman. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't get that. And that doesn't make sense.
I think they're called postal workers now.
Yeah, mail lady.
That's
the
I
mail
like
lady.
mail lady though.
Yeah.
How you doing, mail lady?
Yeah, 'cause that doesn't sound mean.
You got some
Yeah.
letters for me?
Yeah. Let me reach in that sack of yours.
Yeah.
So, one of the ladies in this movie, the lady of this movie, Sissy Spacek, who played Carrie, I don't think enough can be said about what she had did here. This is kind of like a double part fact here. It's a double part fact. You know, people that get really into the roles, method acting's kind of common nowadays. People kind of do that stuff. And it's common. You hear, these kind of people do that. You hear your Tom Hardy's, your Daniel Day-Lewis, those kind of folks. They get kind of weird on set, and people they understand it. But Sissy Spacek did this herself. She had a trailer, right? She had a trailer that she moved right behind set, and she covered her little room, her area. She isolated herself from everybody, and she hung out in this area, and she covered it all with like religious stuff and all these posters and like this old biblical artwork of like people being fucking stoned to death and things like that. All these scary images of biblical times, some Dante Inferno stuff. It's all over. She really got into it. But not only that, it took a long time to do the filming for the prom and all of this. So they would have to redo blood every day. And Sissy Spacek said, no. I'm going to sleep in this dress every night until we get all of it done. So all that stuff, she stayed like that for like 3 days. And she slept the same way and just woke up and did it again. Now, isn't that some stuff?
That's fucking disgusting.
Very disgusting.
But I appreciate the dedication.
Wash that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey.
First of all, why did you... Never mind. That's cool. I like that. I did not know that.
And I'm gonna give you one little teeny more before before I ask you. But did you notice the name of the high school in this? It's Bates High. Norman Bates. Nice little homage.
Ooh, I like the homages.
I do too.
You never catch those.
No.
You never catch those. It goes right over your head. Right over your head.
So what do you know over there? You know something about Carrie?
Yeah, I know some things about Carrie here. All right, so check it out. The man himself, the Barney Rubble-looking motherfucker, Stephen King, himself, Flintstones, buddy. He only made $2,500 off this movie.
$2,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even in the 70s, not a lot of money.
No, and I'm sure you don't regret the fact, the guy's...
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm sure he still gets money from Carrie somehow, some way.
Oh, I mean, he's almost got $1 billion between him and his wife. $1 billion.
Yeah, I know.
$1 billion.
Son of a bitch.
A B. That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, but he only made that much. What do you know? What do you know here? Oh, I know something else, by the way.
Ooh.
Speaking of, they were talking earlier about the prom scene where they're dancing and they're spinning around and around and around and around and
I
around
almost
and
got
around
sick.
and around. Yeah, it's like a merry-go-round. You don't stop.
Puked in my popcorn.
So they're in the merry-go-round dancing scene. Do you know how they did that?
I
This is
imagine
back in the
getting
70s.
dizzy.
This is back in the 70s where shit was bulky.
The guy just spin around real fast.
No.
No.
Camera's too heavy. You can't do that. So what they did was they put the dancers, they put them on a platform. Okay? They put them on a platform and they spun it. But wait, there's more. To create that effect of them spinning and the camera spinning, so they were spinning them on the platform one way, and then they had a camera on the track, and they were spinning it around the other way. So it was going around like this. You know, like I can't do it because my arms get in the way, but they keep going around and around in opposite directions. I said you get that effect, and it was fucking cool, and I liked it.
I like when that's some black magic fuckery there, and
Absolutely,
I like that thing.
yeah.
It looks cool. It's like they
see,
do
they-
something like that with Jaws, you know, when they zoomed into the guy, but they went backwards and forward at the same time.
Yeah, it's
and
called a something zoom. I remember learning about it. I forget what it's called, but
Yeah.
it's a critical zoom effect. But it's cool. So that's how they did that. There you go. There you go.
Why, you know, that's good stuff. You got more facts over there.
No, I mean I can only remember 2 at a time.
Yeah, I think that's all I got too.
You give me
mean,
3 sometimes. I can't. I'm like no.
no more than that.
I
But
can
yeah,
only do 2.
I think that's a lot of facts for Carrie.
That's 4 facts for Carrie.
I don't think everybody knew that.
That's 4 holes of facts
I mean, it is
that
a
we
win.
just put into you. All 4 holes.
You did specify, you know, if you did or did not know, but I feel like they did not know until now. But now they do.
There's no way they did.
So that mess in your pants, you're welcome. That's what we like to call a we-no-gasm. Carrie! Next time you watch Home Alone, that part is really going to stand out to you, Mark. It's really going to stand out to you, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And if anybody else out there in the world...
Doesn't matter. We ruin stuff for everybody anyways. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I know someone that's listening knows that part where Marv is... Harry! Bro... it's weird how things can live in your head like that. Like the most insignificant quotes from movies. Like
No, it's just the randomest shit will stick to your brain and be stuck in there forever.
one that comes in a lot too is like the Weekend at Bernie's. You remember when he fell out of the back of the boat and they were pulling him? Man overboard! That shouldn't live in my head and pop up every once in a while. But it does. It does. Now, we've talked about the remake. We've talked about some of the casting that we have. You know, Piper Laurie, Sissy Spacek, John Travolta. I mean, there was some great casting going on. Young, and they were young in their career. Talked about the director. But I want to talk a little bit about the impact of this film and what was going on. First off, I think you've heard of that movie that came out recently called Late Night with the Devil. Really good if you guys haven't seen it. Can't recommend it enough, but it's like an old talk show where these people come and sit in and one person's trying to prove that they're possessed and they can prove stuff, and the one guy's like, yeah, you're full of shit, and he's trying to disprove them. And then things get crazy. But that was very on par for 70s TV. Those old talk shows, you found that a lot. You would find like people that are like, I'm magic. And they're like, oh yeah? Well, move this, flip the sheet. And then there would be some old guy that would like understand what they're doing and debunk it. That was very popular. But telekinesis, zodiac signs, horoscopes, there was just this need to look outside of the normal. It was the 70s, man. A lot of, it was after the 60s with like the free love, but there was still some 70s peace. People wanted love. It was after Nam. So it was just a different time frame in that where people were. They were, horoscope stuff was big, mood rings, things like that, like dream catchers, like that kind of thing really took off. So telekinesis kind of became a talking point. And I think Carrie made it from a talking point to like everyone knows what it is. I feel like this movie is the reason why everyone knows what telekinesis means. Maybe boys with, their comic books and certain things, we've picked it up, but really, this inspired a lot of that. And I feel like this is also one of those flicks that people that haven't seen it could tell you what happens in it. That's power, man. For a movie that's old, like that's that old, and people can still tell you all about Carrie. Very interesting. I like that story of the woman. It's shot in the woman's point of view because I enjoy a woman's point of view in horror all the time. I love ladies. All right. I mean, I talk a lot of shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna bust y'all's balls. I'm not gonna talk like, hey everybody. I'm not gonna walk on eggshells. But at the same time, I do love ladies, and I do love final girls, and I love seeing certain horror movies shot in a woman's perspective. I like them in a man's too. I love Hostel. Got the guy screaming. Adds something different. Carrie was strong. She was a victim, and she seek and destroy, dude. Like, I love that. She almost pulled like the Andre Lenoche. He's not a lady, but just, yeah, you guys, Andre Lenoge wasn't picked on, but he did what he was going to do and did it. Like, I just enjoyed that about Carrie, that she won. She didn't necessarily want to have to go out like that, but it was just one of those, like, yeah, well, first step, fuck around. Second step, find out. Like, that's what she did. Carrie just fuck around and find out at them. And you're like, good for you. Fuck school. High school sucks, man. High school sucks so bad, and you get a little bit of that, and I don't want to say like I'm more sympathetic to her because she is a girl. I'm not saying that. You just feel for the girl in particular in this movie because her mom was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Well, yeah, her home life sucked. Her school life sucked.
Yeah.
Everything sucked.
And she was a cool person. Like, she wasn't mean. Like, she wasn't... Those other girls at her school probably deserved Carrie's mom.
Sure.
Send them in that prayer room with Ted Nugent Jesus and figure some stuff out.
Absolutely.
Scratch that beaver. So that's funny.
Ted Nugent Jesus. What's your favorite part, man? Tell me.
So I don't want to be cliche, but definitely the ending scene. The prom scene. But if I can get more specific, right when she's walking out of prom and she gets Chris and her boyfriend, John Travolta, and messes up in a very nice car, beautiful car. I love the old muscle cars from the 70s. But she was already on beast mode at that point. Like, she hasn't even come down yet from the high of it. Yeah, and she just turns and sees them, and it's just pushes their car. The face she gives is like like the hell no fury, like a woman scorn. Have you ever seen a mad woman? Yeah, like it was that face.
Her face, it turned around. It was the same face every woman gives when somebody forgets their birthday or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Or if you're like at a party and she can't like verbally yell at you, and she has to just give you that like.
It's the same look every woman. Later? It's the same look your mom would have give you if you forgot Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You know, that look.
You farted in public while grandma's at dinner, like kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
or you brought home food and didn't get her anything. Same face.
Angry.
Same face.
You went and got this without me? Sure did. Now I'm gonna eat it in front of you.
Yeah.
That's how you get telekinesis, bro. That's what happens. That's what happens. But I've learned from horror movies. I don't play those games.
No.
And then also, yeah, I mean, we've mentioned this many times out there. Any fellas, if you are with one of those, women, if you hear that I am hungry, please do not take that as a small warning. Just pull over immediately. Always keep snacks in your car. That's
red
a
alert.
threat.
That's a red alert time, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sound the alarm.
Nothing else is important at that moment.
Nope.
If you want to enjoy the rest of your day.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. I don't care how big of an eater they are or how little they are of an eater. When they say I'm hungry, you are too late, buddy.
My favorite part is when Johnny Stromboli and Chris are in the car, and it's when you first see John Travolta. He's just in the car cruising to some happy up music, and he's just sitting here vibing, running around. I wish I was that happy. He just looked fucking happy, and it was cracking me up. Buddy comes by, throws you a beer.
Why do you keep
just
calling
cruising?
him Johnny Stromboli?
I don't know.
He's a wrestler. I knew Johnny Stromboli was a wrestler from WWE.
Is he really?
Yeah.
No way.
Or WCW back in the day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just what John Travolta looks like. He looks like a Johnny Stromboli.
That's Johnny Stromboli.
Oh, whatever.
So I'm like...
I call him what the hell I want.
Okay.
Johnny Travolta. How about that?
Yep.
Is that better?
Yeah, I like that.
Does that work for you?
Well, I didn't know. See, the thing is, I didn't know because remember he did that show way back in the day, the Welcome Back Kotta, and he was Vinnie Barbarino. That was a cool character too.
Yeah.
That he just fit that role. He was too cool for school, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you get some of that in it.
But I'm sorry to cut you. What was his scene though? When he was drinking and driving.
Yeah, when you first see him, he's just bobbing his head, just moving to the music,
spilling beer, like, and
I know.
The cop pulls up and he just throws his beer at his girl. Like,
she kept going, "I told you not to call me that." Whatever she calls him.
Old John Travolta does make you laugh when he's got
my
that
God,
like, hey,
yeah.
what's the matter?
It's the same thing that was happening, dude. It was just fucking making me geek.
What's so wrong? Yeah, he's hilarious. And that's really before he started to blow up too, with like Urban Cowboy and Saturday Night Fever, because the 70s did him well.
Yeah,
He did really well.
he did.
I think in a lot of decades, I did like Urban Cowboy. I liked that movie a lot.
Yeah. You know, what was other weird to me I didn't understand is when Carrie comes back after everything's done and she's still covered in blood and she goes to the house and her mom's got like candles everywhere and shit. Like everywhere. She decides to go wash off, but it's like, you're covered in pig's blood. I feel like this is a shower situation and not a bath situation.
Most definitely.
Why did you take a bath?
I don't know.
You're just washing yourself in dilated pig's blood water, which would look cool for filming. But I'm like, bitch, take a shower.
You better
What
fill
are
that
you
tub up a couple
doing?
times.
Ew. Ew. That part bothered me a little bit. It's definitely a shower. You have no problem taking showers before.
I didn't look at it like that way until now.
Well, that's just shit I notice. I see it from a different perspective than you do, I guess.
You're right, and she did shower in the movie. So
I
it's
know.
like, what are we doing?
I know.
Maybe her mom was right. Maybe her mom was right. Maybe she deserved to be beat.
Maybe. Is the reason why the house exploded is because at the end, because the house just implodes and blows up.
Yeah, she kills herself and her mom.
Okay. Because I didn't know what was happening at first. I didn't know Carrie caused it. Because I know that she kills her mom because her mom tried to kill her. Mm-hmm. But then, like, the house just starts exploding. I'm like, why is the house exploding? I was like, oh, yeah, telekinesis stuff. Got it.
Break the walls down! Chris Jericho showed up, dude. Yeah, so she took the house down. What a cool story. What a cool story. And Carrie is, I don't care how you put it, she will always, that bloody image of Carrie in prom dress will always be an iconic horror image.
Oh, yeah.
It always will.
That's a poster for sure.
And
It's like a Michael Jordan poster of horror.
And Sissy Spacek too. Like, I mean, for her time frame, she's just a unique looking lady. All right, I'm not saying she's ugly. Like, she was pretty when she was younger, but I'm saying like she's unique, and it adds to it when she does the eyes and the blood. No one else could have crushed that like her. That one girl, Chloe, whatever, did the Carrie more recently. She was the little girl in Amityville Horror, and then she grew up. She's in Carrie. And she did well, but I think towards the end of the prom scene, she just still looked a little normal. Like, she's covered in blood and everything, but she looked like a normal girl. Sissy Spacek, you're like, that scares me. Like, that would scare me. If I saw that, you'd be like, oh my God, we gotta go.
Dude, if I saw that walking down the road in the middle of the night, fucking foot on the gas. I ain't fucking with it.
Nope.
I ain't fucking with it. I'm not calling the police.
Not my
Just
business.
nope. Goodbye. Goodbye. No.
Yeah,
Not pulling over.
The more you think about it, the creepier she is.
Yeah.
She's just one of those, and it's also not a character that is so oversaturated and like, we see Freddy a lot, we see Jason a lot, like on images, t-shirts, coffee mugs, all these things, and they lose their luster, but you don't see Carrie all the time. It gets that Reverend Kane from Poltergeist 2 thing going on, where you're like, oh yeah, I don't like that.
I forgot about you. But
I don't like that, by the way.
No.
Yeah,
No, I don't like it at all.
I forgot about
I don't
this.
like it at all. But what I do like is picking your brain a little bit and going through the portal to another world, to another realm, and figuring out what this movie rates.
Okay.
On this, let me finish.
I'm sorry.
On the Sloppy Horror.
I did.
Sloppy horror rating, baby, yeah!
Boom shakalaka, bitch. Hope your pants are back on going through that teleportation device we just poured into your brain, and now you're here for the world famous, one of a kind, one and only world famous, world renowned Sloppy Horror Podcast rating developed by one and only the very scary movie companion Christian Raby. He made this horror movie scale. That's based on a horror movie, not a movie in general, so keep that in mind. You know the rules, all right? I don't need to keep saying this, but we got new people all the time, and I gotta get in their ear and let them know what's going on. So we're gonna do this in a series of 4 categories. 3 categories worth 3 points. Last category is worth 1.48 total love.
10 points altogether.
So let's get into the first category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
It has to be a 3. We don't get many options in horror. We've had some great casting movies lately that we've picked, but it has to be a 3. You just can't get John Travolta, Sissy Spacek, Piper Laurie. Obviously the director, Brian De Palma, he's not in the film, but there are so many people in this movie that are like on the Hollywood Walk of Fame that like you just can't not put it at a 3. Like most horror movies have actors that you don't even know who they are until the movies come out. Like did anybody know Heather Langenkamp prior to Nightmare on Elm Street? They did not. They did not. Now we all love her and I know her name and I say it often because I enjoy the work she's done because of that. But these actors, I mean, I'm sure this movie helped their career. I'm not going to deny that, but Johnny Stromboli, bro, like, dude, he's got some roles. My man has got some roles. So it just has to be a 3. Like, it just has to.
All right. That's 3 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the second category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is kills.
I need your help on this, dude.
Okay.
This one's tough because you don't get really anything till the end, but then it's so over the top at the end.
Quantity is there because she took out an entire fucking school.
Yeah, dude.
So we got quantity.
You saying that just is really fun. Like that made it sound. She did though.
She took out a whole fucking school. Plus, so we got the whole school in that. We got people burning. We got people getting crushed by basketball hoops. That is a fear that you've had ever since you were in grade school of that thing coming down. Then we got the car wrecks. We got the mom getting stabbed by like 9 different knives. Carrie blows up the house, kills herself.
Like a 2?
2.
Yeah, like
2.5.
2.5?
2.5 because we've been in this situation before. I feel like it's a 2.5 because we got quantity. We got some brutality in it.
Creativity
in it as well, but there's just not something that's over the top. When you think of Carrie, you don't think of an iconic kill for a 0.5
right.
to get that final 3. Mostly when something has 3 in kills, you have every category, plus you have an iconic kill that you're just like, dude, that sticks with your brain when you think of that movie. I don't think of any of the kills when I think of Carrie.
No.
But there sure are a fucking lot of them. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But
2.5's fair, dude.
let's go 2.5 on that. How you feel about that?
Yeah, no, that's really fair.
That was my first time doing that. I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you did really good.
So that's 5.5 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the third, final 3-point category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is fear.
Now, fear, I do think there are frightening elements in this. But this, to me, is screaming a 1. Because I think by the end of the damn movie, you're kind of on her side. So you're like, well, you guys get what you deserve. But I do think this would freak some people out to some degree. Like, there's some... she's scary looking at the end of it. Like, she's scary. So, like, obviously this movie has lived in people's mind for, many, many, many decades. So I do think there is something that gets the wheels turning up there and get people kind of down that creepy road, but not something that necessarily has you clutching your pearls and staying up all night, running upstairs faster.
No, I mean, it is a 70s movie, and I think the way it's filmed and the way the camera is and the score in it, just the movie as a whole, the way it's shot and how it's done, and it's being older, everything to it just is some natural fear. Like, you can watch this and know this, this is a scary movie.
Yep.
But, nobody's losing sleep over a telekinesis girl.
Nah. Somebody should have asked her if she was hungry.
Really. So that is 6.5 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get to the final 1-point category for half a point each here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is rewatchability.
Yep, it's up there. Sometimes even those legendary movies, though, they can be one and done. You know, you're like, wow, like, yeah, I've seen it. I know all about that. I don't need to ever watch that again.
Yeah.
With Carrie, I do find myself watching this from time to time. I find it popping up whenever it's, when it comes back. It's on HBO now. I do. I enjoy this, but I'm also a big Stephen King fan. So
Well, that's what helps with it. I mean, it's just a rich story in general. It could be. It's surprisingly enough, this could be a comfort movie for people because you can relate to Carrie so well. A lot of people, if you ever had if you had a bad time in any school, anything, this is somewhat relatable to you, and that's a comfort in people. So I think that's what helps make it rewatchable a lot.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So that is a total of 7.5 out of 10 for Carrie. Right here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast, right back up in your ass.
That's a very fair score.
Yes, it is.
It's a high score, and it's very fair.
I thought it would be.
It's interesting too. I like when horror stories, because I can do tropes. I can do a basic trope. I'll still watch it and enjoy it. Was this a possession movie? Or okay, cool, I'll watch it. But Carrie's unique. I don't know anything else that fits in that. You can't really spin off of it. It's just its own thing. Like they had that.
Especially nowadays, you can't really get away with making a movie about killing an entire school.
No. Yeah, that's a good point as well. But I think they tried like Friday the 13th Part 7, where there was like kind of like Carrie. It wasn't Carrie, but a girl with telekinesis versus Jason. But there was just no traction there, and this is just its own. It belongs on its own little island, and I really dig that. So, man, Carrie, legendary movie I grew up with. Everyone's grown up with. I'm glad to get this one in the books. I'm so happy.
It's in the books, baby.
Yeah, really pumped about that. Now,
it's part of the Sloppy Horror family now.
Hey. What the fuck are you wearing?
Oh, what am I wearing? I'm so glad you noticed.
You son of a bitch.
That's right. It's the fucking Hello, My Name Is fucking shirt. And it's on my body. And I finally fucking got one. Because I'm not missing out on these fucking goddamn shirts anymore. Because I fucking produced the fucking show. And I never had one of these goddamn limited time shirts. So I got one. All right, check it out. I'm get so much puss in this shirt. Look at this.
Now,
look at this. Fucking fantastic.
I know. Especially when we do especially when we make it at limited. Every time we end up going, they don't have our sizes by the time we go and look.
No.
So, all right.
So I jumped on it. I fucking jumped on it.
Son of a bitch.
That's right.
I should have got a shirt.
I know, you're jealous.
Motherfucker.
Look how jealous you are.
That's all right. That's all right. It's all right. Now, that is
Hold on, I'm not done. That's right.
well,
Fresh to death, bitch.
providing that they are still up and they're the limit, because like I said, these are limited quantity on these because it's just for the Hello My Name Is season, and we didn't want to mass produce it because we have an option on how far we want to go with certain things, and this we would like to make it limited. And I'm kind of jealous that Ozark Mark actually hopped on it and got one for himself. I got to look for myself, but if you guys like that, make sure you go check out our the Sloppy Shop. You can find the link for that in all of our videos, description for this, however you're listening. You can find it there. Damn it, son of a bitch.
Oh, I got
All right,
a logo on their back too.
Yeah,
What's up, bitch?
Yeah, I definitely gotta. I gotta look at that. I have to look at that.
Yeah, quit fucking around. You need to
Did
get
you see
one.
that black cat shirt too? I kind of want to get one of those black cat shirts too if I'm gonna order one of those.
Yeah.
I need to bite the bullet because I'm not missing out this time.
No. No. And you better not either.
How do we miss out on our own show?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. We fucking suck, dude. All right? But I got one. Your fucking ass needs to get one because you will get laid in this shirt, guy or girl. I know it's easier for girls to get laid, but it's going to make it even easier for you broads to get laid. And dudes, look, we can all use a little help with that. So wear this fucking shirt, get some fucking tang, and it's comfortable too, dude. This is like nice and like it's very breathable. Like this is good quality shit right here.
Yeah,
I like this shirt a lot.
Yeah, I like the way that fits on you too.
It does. It fits very nice. to my body.
Well, hopefully next episode you'll see me in a sloppy horror shirt. Well, I'm checking that out as soon as we get off here.
It's
Because
like
if they don't have my size, I'm gonna freak out.
This is like a hug from a stripper right now. It's very satisfying. You know, you didn't think you wanted it, but once you got it, you're like, I need it again.
So once again, if you guys do like that, seriously, you gotta hop on it sooner than later versus checking that out, because there will only be a limited few of those. We'll always have sloppy merch up, and we're always gonna keep it, up and going. But man, these season shirts, they don't last long. So we appreciate all of you guys. And then also, if you want to look for another way to support the show, make sure that you guys are checking out these new bonus episodes that have been coming out on Patreon. They've been coming out a lot more frequent now. Mark and I have been diving into more of our personal life, more of stuff behind the scenes that's not all movies, and we can really dive deep. But if you guys want to be a part of that, I want to make sure that you guys hop on it. And also too, for the Patreon members, like Punk, you're one of our biggest members. You're always a big fan of us. You've locked in at a high tier for a long time, but I don't know if that's how you want us to refer to you and give you a shout out. So all of you Patreon members are going to get some shout outs on this show. At the end, we always want to give you guys much love like you give us love, but I want to know, if you're a paid member of the show, you make sure you message me and you let me know what you would prefer your shout out to be. If you're like, no, I don't want that, I want it to be something else, then let me know, okay? Because you're getting some shout outs, guys. So if you want to be a part of the shout outs, these bonus episodes, that's patreon.com/sloppyhorror. Obviously, the Sloppy Shop, you can find the links for that for however you're listening to it in the description. Check it out. And get one of those shirts while they're still here. And I know we're gonna be back. We got more names to talk about next week. Now, next week's kind of a comic book title, Mark, because I'm gonna save that little lady for the finale. We need to save that little lady for the finale. Right?
Okay.
She's too big to talk about for just a random. She needs to be the finale. It's a big thing.
Okay.
But next week we're kind of talking about a forgotten superhero. Really popular in the 90s, lots of comic books, Dark Horse, very creepy. I don't know, man. It's just one of those things.
Oh, I know what it is.
Mm-hmm. Came from hell, or he went to hell.
Yeah. He got to hell and he came back.
He went to hell. Oh, yeah.
Very good. Very good. This is exciting. So be jealous of me because I'm fresh. And you could be too.
You could.
But until then, fucking watch Carrie. If you got the hint, go watch that movie. And we're going to be back next week. Right up in your ass again.
Yeah, we are. We're going to be a violator. Yep. So that's what's going to happen. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Once again, make sure you guys are liked and subscribed everywhere. Helps us out big time, more than you know. And until next week, you guys, just don't get arrested. All right? And don't make any children if you weren't intending to.
Yeah, please don't.
If you weren't intending to, don't make any children. Don't get arrested, and then we'll see you next Monday.
All right, pull out. Goodbye.
See ya.